Okay, no? So, ayan, no? So, welcome to our channel, no? So, our topic for today is accounting for corporation, no? It's a series of video lecture na kung saan hahati-hatiin natin yung topic under the corporation. So, ngayon is introduction muna kung ano ba itong corporation. Okay, so let's start, no? So, under Republic Act number 11232, also known as the Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, a corporation is defined as an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incidental to its existence. So, based dun sa definition, mapapansin mo is na merong apat na attribute ang isang korporasyon. So, gawa natin na mnemonics, no? Mnemonics niya is CRAP. Okay? So, CRAP, no? C stands for Created by Operation of Law. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang isang korporasyon is dumaan sa isang formal registration and approval ng isang regulatory body. So dito sa Pilipinas, yung regulatory body niya is yung tinatawag nating Securities and Exchange Commission. Okay, so sila yung nagre-regulate, sila yung nag-a-approve ng mga korporasyon dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? R stands for right of succession. Okay, so ang korporasyon is merong right of succession kasi ang isang korporasyon ay na-enjoy niya yung tinatawag na living in perpetuity. So, ibig sabihin ng isang korporasyon is merong unlimited life or continuous life na kung saan pwedeng i-transfer, pwedeng ipamana yung ownership dun sa isang korporasyon. Okay, so ang isang korporasyon is merong right of succession na kung saan unlimited ang kanyang buhay dahil pwedeng ipamana, i-transfer, or ibenta yung ownership ng isang korporasyon. And A stands for artificial being. Okay, so ang isang korporasyon is an artificial being, meaning sa mata ng batas is para siyang tao na kung saan na meron siyang same legal rights, responsibilities, and obligation katulad ng nasa iisang tao. So, ang korporasyon is separate and distinct dun sa kanyang creators, members, and directors. P stands for power of corporation. Okay? So, ang isang korporasyon is merong power. It can be expressed. Okay? It can be expressed. Ito, expressly authorized by law. Incidental sa kanilang existence. O kaya naman, implied, no? Implied sa kanilang existence. Example sa mga power ng korporasyon is yung pagka-amend nila ng Article of Incorporation. O kaya naman yung paggawa nila ng bylaws, yung rules and regulations sa korporasyon. O kaya naman, yung pag-i-issue or pagbebenta ng shares of stocks o kaya pag-a-admit ng member sa kanilang korporasyon. So, kasama yon sa mga power ng isang korporasyon. Okay? Okay, so ano nga ba ang characteristic ng mga corporation? No? So, advantages niya is number 1 is yung separate legal entity. So, sabi natin sa attributes kanina, ang isang korporasyon is separate and distinct from its owner, members, or creators. So, therefore, pwedeng magkaroon ng sariling PPE, property, plant, and equipment, pwedeng pumasok sa kontrata, o kaya naman mag-face ng legal consequences ang isang korporasyon. Okay? Na separate and distinct from its owners. So, kaya siya is separate legal entity. Number 2 is yung tinatawag na limited liability. Pag sinabi nating limited liability, typically ang korporasyon is limited lamang ang kanilang capital based dun sa investment ng mga owners. So, hindi sila pwedeng habulin ng creditors beyond their capital contribution. So, hindi pwedeng habulin ng creditors ang mga owners beyond their capital contribution. Unless na lamang nagkaroon ng tinatawag na pierce the corporate veil. Okay, pag sinabing pierce the corporate veil, is pwede nang habulin ng mga creditors yung kanilang shareholders, owners, or directors. Okay? Itong pierce the corporate veil is merong 4 na instances, no? So, number 1 instances, pwede silang habulin kapag nagkaroon ng fraud. Okay? Ginamit sa pandadaya o kasamaan yung mismong korporasyon. Okay? Number 2 is kapag merong tinatawag na alter ego. Okay? Pag sinabi alter ego, yung korporasyon is another personality lamang or extension lamang ng mga creators or owners. Okay? So, example nito, kapag yung korporasyon is ginagamit yung pera ng korporasyon para ipambayad sa mga personal liability ng creators. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung corporation is an extension lamang ng mismong creators. Okay? So, pwede na siyang habulin. Number 3 is kapag meron tinatawag na defeat of public convenience. Okay? Okay? Pag sinabing defeat of public convenience, ginagamit lamang yung mismong korporasyon to evade obligation sa public. Okay? So, ginamit yung korporasyon para umiwas sa kanilang obligasyon sa mga publiko. Example nito ay kapag yung korporasyon is ginamit para magkaroon ng tax evasion. Okay? So, ginamit mo yung korporasyon para makaiwas sa pagbabayad ng tax. So, nagkakaroon ng defeat of public convenience. And lastly, number 4, nagkakaroon ng pierce of the corporate veil kapag merong mga equity cases. Okay? So, ginagamit yung mismong korporasyon to shield the personal asset of the creators. Okay? So, para maalala mo tong pierce the corporate veil, gawa natin ang mnemonics, no? FADE. F-A-D-E. So, fraud, alter ego, defeat of public convenience, and equity cases. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag na transferable of ownership rights. Okay? Pag sinabi nating transferable of ownership rights, kasi ang isang korporasyon, ang representation ng ownership is shares of stocks. Okay? Ang representation ng ownership sa isang korporasyon is shares of stocks. And as a general rule, yung shares of stocks is transferable. Okay? So, gaya nga ng sabi din natin sa attributes na merong right of succession, na kung saan yung korporasyon, yung ownership, is pwedeng i-transfer, is pamana or ibenta, pwede rin i-transfer nga yung ownership rights. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag na continuous life. Yung isang korporasyon, gaya ng sabi natin sa attributes, they enjoy perpetual existence. Okay? So, meaning, continuous lang ang buhay ng korporasyon kahit pa nagkaroon ng withdrawal, death of the shareholders, retirement, unless na lamang nagkaroon ng liquidation. Okay? Next is no mutual agency for stockholders. So, ibig sabihin, since ang korporasyon is a separate and distinct from its owners, even the owners, the creators, or the directors cannot bind the corporation. Okay? So, no mutual agency for stockholders. Okay? Lastly, easier capital accumulation. So, dahil dun sa ability niya na magkaroon ng pagbebenta ng ownership o kaya naman sa mga advantages niya, madaling makakalap ng mga investors. Okay? Kaya easier capital accumulation. And disadvantages niya, number 1 is governmental regulation. Okay? Pag sinabing governmental regulation, yung tinatawag nating SEC. Okay? Yung Securities and Exchange Commission. Na kung saan from registration up to operation and transparency is nire-regulate mismo ni SEC. And number 8, or lastly, yung corporate taxation. Okay? So, BIR, no? Under the BIR rulings, corporation is taxed based on their taxable income. Okay? Okay, so classes of corporation. So, number 1 is stock corporation. Pag sinabing stock corporations, these are corporation which have capital stocks divided into shares, are authorized to distribute to holders of such shares dividends or allotments of the surplus profit on the basis of shares. So declare dividends to have share income, the owners called shareholders or stockholders, and the right to vote for board of directors. Okay? So pag sinabi nating stock corporation, ito ay isang korporasyon na kung saan merong capital stocks. Okay? So meron siyang equity interest, no? Na kung saan yung kanilang capital stock or equity interest is divided into pieces of shares. Okay? Ngayon, yung mga pieces of shares na yun is authorized by the SEC to distribute sa mga holders outside. Okay? So once na-distribute yan or na-issue, nabili ng nasa labas, ang tawag na sa mga bumili is shareholders or stockholders. Okay? So meron silang representation of ownership, which is yung tinatawag nga natin shares. Ngayon, entitled sila sa tinatawag na dividends or allotment of surplus on the basic of the shares. So kapag ka nagkaroon ng profit, entitled sila sa shares of profit, which is, ang tawag is dividends. Okay? Ngayon, yung dividends is dinedeclare lamang kapag ka merong income. Okay? So, dinedeclare sila ng korporasyon. So, sino ang nagde-declare? Ang nagde-declare is the board of directors, which is binoto ng mga shareholders para mag-manage ng korporasyon. Okay? So, kung iisipin mo kasi, maraming pwedeng magmay-ari. Okay? Maraming pwedeng magmay-ari. Kasi nga yung capital stock is nadi-divide siya into pieces of shares. Ngayon, kapag binenta na yan sa labas, marami nang pwedeng magmay-ari. Ngayon, magkakaroon ng botohan. Magboboto sila kung sino ang talagang magmamanage ng korporasyon. Once nagkaroon ng botohan, yung mga nanalo, ang tawag sa kanila is board of directors. Ngayon, sila ang magmamanage ng korporasyon. Sila rin yung magde-declare ng mga dividends, ng mga share ng income para sa shareholders. Okay? So, example ng mga stock corporation natin is yung mga publicly listed corporation like SM Corporations, BDO, mga Metrobank Corporations, na kung saan binibenta nila yung mismong shares of stocks nila dun sa public. Okay? Next is number 2, yung mga non-stock corporation. Pag sinabi nating non-stock corporation, it is one where no part of its income is distributable as dividends to its member, trustee, or officers. Any profit accruing to the corporation whenever necessary or proper be used for the furtherance of the purpose or purposes for which the corporations was organized. The owners called members. The purpose is not to earn profit, and the voting is board of trustee or board of officers. Okay? So, under the non-stock corporation, ito naman yung mga korporasyon na kanilang purpose is not to earn profit. Okay? Example ng mga non-profit corporation is mga churches, public hospital, public schools, mga state universities, na kung saan hindi talaga nila purpose is to earn profit. Okay? Ang purpose lang nila is to serve the general public. Ngayon, yung mismong ownership nila is not represented by shares. Okay? So, hindi represented by shares yung ownership. Ngayon, nag-a-admit lang sila ng members and trustee or officers. So, any profit accruing sa kanilang korporasyon is ginagamit para may pagpatuloy yung kanilang purpose. Okay? Nagbobotohan sila para may mag-manage nung mismong non-stock corporation. Ang tawag dun sa mga binoto nila na magmamanage is board of trustee or board of officers. Okay? Next is yung mga quasi-corporation. Pag sinabi nating quasi-public corporation, these are private sector that is supported by government with a public mandate to provide a given service. Example niyan is Meralco, PLDT, Globe. Si Meralco, ang public mandate niya is to provide electricity sa public. Okay? PLDT and Globe is to provide telecommunication. Okay? So ano ang kaibahan niyan sa non-stock corporation? Na ang pagkakaibahan niya is they earn profit. Okay? And yung profit is dinidistribute din nila. Yun nga lang is meron silang public mandate. Okay? Yung public mandate nila is to provide public service. Okay? Whereas sa non-stock, hindi nila talaga gusto kumita. Talaga ang gusto lang nila is mag-serve sa public. Okay? And lastly, dun sa classes of corporation is yung tinatawag na government-owned or controlled corporations. No? So these are organized by the government or corporation of which the government is a majority stockholder. Example is PhilHealth. So itong mga GOCC, create ito to serve the public din. Yun nga lang, majority of its owners or the stockholders are the government itself. Example nga is yung PhilHealth. Okay? So, other types of corporations, no? So, number 1 is yung public corporations, no? So, kapag sinabi nating public corporation, ito yung mga corporation organized by government or a portion of the state for general good and welfare. So, example natin yan, mga provinces, cities, municipalities, mga barangay. Okay? Next is kapag private corporation naman, it is a corporation formed for some private purpose, no? So, possible, ito yung mga stock corporation mo. Okay? Open corporation, pag sinabi nating open corporation, ito yung corporation na open to any person na gustong maging parte ng korporasyon. So, open siya sa labas. Kapag ka naman closed corporation, ito naman yung mga korporasyon na ang isinasama lang is yung mga family members. Okay? One person corporation, ito naman yung corporation na kung saan isa lang yung stockholder. Okay? So, isa lang yung owner, isa lang yung stockholder. Siya na rin yung nagsisilbing president and director ng kumpanya. Okay? Publicly listed corporation naman or publicly traded, no? Other name yan is yung publicly traded corporation. Ito yung mga korporasyon na kung saan yung mismong ownership nila o yung shares nila is tinitrade sa public, no? Actively traded. Okay? Actively pinagpapalit-palitan or binibenta or ini-issue sa active market. Okay? Dito sa Pilipinas, ang active market natin is yung tinatawag na Philippine Stock Exchange. Okay? Sorry, nilagyan ng I. Okay, so Philippine Stock Exchange, no? So, non-listed corporation, mga non-listed corporation naman, syempre, yung korporasyon na hindi tinitrade yung kanilang shares of stocks. And corporation with perpetual term and corporation with specific term, ito yung corporation na kung saan continuous yung life, no? As a general rule naman yun. Pero kapag ka perpetual term, ibig sabihin, yung kanyang korporasyon is continuous yung buhay kahit pa hindi sabihin. Okay? Unless baguhin or i-amend yung article of incorporation. Whereas yung corporation with specific term is meron siyang specific purpose or meron siyang fixed lifespan na pwedeng pahabain or pwedeng i-extend or pwedeng i-shorten depende dun sa kanyang article of incorporation. Okay? So, steps in creation of a corporation. So, merong 3 general steps sa pagbuo ng isang korporasyon. Number 1 is yung tinatawag na promotion. Dun sa promotion, ito yung gumagawa ka na ng tinatawag na business idea and plan. Okay? Nagkakaroon ka na rin ng market research, mga feasibility study, secure funding, and initial legal advice. Okay? Next, number 2 is yung tinatawag na incorporation. Sisimulan mo na siyang buuin. So, eto na yung nagre-reserve ka ng corporate name sa SEC. Nagda-draft ka na and file of article of incorporation. Prepare corporate bylaws. Appoint directors and officers. And obtain license and permit from municipalities. Okay, kung saan ka mag-ooperate. And number 3 is formal organization and commencement. Okay? Lahat ng gastos na magagamit mo dito sa step in creation of a corporation is tinatawag na organizational cost. Okay? Organizational cost. Okay? Na kung saan itong organizational cost is expense as incurred. Okay? So, lahat ng mga gastos mo sa pagbuo ng korporasyon is expense directly. Bakit? Kasi wala pang future economic benefit. Kaya, kailangan mo siyang i-expense muna. Okay? So, ano ba yung sinasabi nating Article of Incorporation? So, yung Article of Incorporation is ito yung birth certificate mo as a corporation, na kung saan ipinapasa mo to sa SEC na nakalagay yung pangalan ng korporasyon, yung purpose ng korporasyon, place of the principal office must be within the Philippines, term of existence in the corporation has a specific term, kung specific ba yung term or perpetual as a general. So, name, residence, and address of incorporators. Pag sinabi incorporators, yan yung bumuo. Okay? Pangalan nila, residence, and address. The amount of share capital, par value, and no of share into which is divided. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin share capital, ito yung mismong capital contribution, no? So, next topic naman yan. Par value, ito yung value ng share capital mo. Okay? If share has no par value, the article shall state only number of shares, but the fact that the share is without par shall be stated therein. Okay? So, ayan ang nilalaman ng Article of Incorporation or Birth Certificate of the Corporation. So, ano yung tinatawag na bylaws? Okay? So, bylaws are the rules of action adopted by the corporation for its internal government and government of its officers, shareholders, or members. So, ito yung adopted rules and regulation ng isang korporasyon. So, ano ang nilalaman niya? So, conduct of meeting of the shareholders and directors. So, kung tuwing kailan, okay? Tuwing kailan or kung saan nagme-meeting yung mga shareholders and directors. Rule of directorship. Owner at least one share and majority are resident of the Philippines. Rules of officership. Rules for issuing of shares. Methods of amending bylaws and others corporate governance ng korporasyon. Okay? Okay, no? So, component of a corporations, no? So, number 1 sa component ng corporations is the corporators, no? Corporators are those who compose a corporation, whether as stockholders or shareholders in a stock corporation or as members in a non-stock corporation. So, pagdating sa corporators, ito lahat ng composition ng isang korporasyon. Okay? Mapa-stockholder or shareholders ka man, pagka-stock corporation, o kaya naman, members ng isang non-stock corporation. So, si incorporators naman are those stockholders or members mentioned in the articles of incorporations as originally forming and composing the corporation and who are signatories thereto. So, si incorporators, sila talaga yung original na bumuo ng korporasyon. Okay? So, incorporators, these are the original incorporators or sila yung bumuo ng mismong korporasyon. Whereas, si corporators, eto naman yung mga nilalaman ng korporasyon kahit hindi sila kasama dun sa initially gumawa ng korporasyon. Okay? Take note lamang that number and qualification of incorporators are any persons, partnership, association, or corporation singly or jointly with others but not more than 15 in numbers, may organize a corporation for any lawful purpose or purposes. So, pwedeng person, partnership, association, or corporation, singly or jointly. So, kung mapapansin mo, kahit mga artificial being is pwedeng maging incorporators. Okay? Provided na hindi ito lalagpas ng 15 members, 15 numbers. And provided that natural person who are licensed to practice profession, partnership or associations organized for the share of capital stock of the corporation, purpose of practicing profession shall not be allowed to organize as a corporation unless otherwise provided under special laws. So, hindi pwede yung mga in practice of profession, yung mga general professional partnership. And incorporators who are natural purpose person must be of legal age. Each incorporators of stock corporation must own or be a subscriber to at least one share of the capital stock. A corporation with a single stockholder is considered a one-person corporation as described in Title 13, Chapter 3 of this code. So, yung incorporators should be natural person and must be of legal age. And dapat, meron silang subscribe at least one share of the capital stock. And, kapag ka in case naman of one-person corporation, siya na talaga yung mismong incorporators nung one single OPC corporation. Okay? So, shareholders or members, no? Shareholders are corporator in stock corporation, while members are corporators of a non-stock corporation. So, ang tawag nga ng mga miyembro pag stock corporation is shareholders, pag non-stock, ang tawag is members. Subscribers, yung gaya nga nasabi natin kanina, are persons who are agreed to take pay for original and issued share of corporation formed or to be formed. So, subscribers ang tawag dun sa may commitment bumili nung ownership. Okay? And directors, trustee, 1 to 15. Okay? So, yung mga iboboto na directors or trustee is pwedeng 1 to 15. Okay? Kapag ka one-person corporation, isa lang yun. And every director must at least own one share of voting stock. Okay? Okay, so typical record used by a corporation. So number 1 is yung minutes books, no? So ang laman nito is yung minutes of the meeting of the directors and stockholders. So gaya nga nasabi natin kanina sa bylaws na kung saan nakasulat, kung saan gaganapin yung meeting at tuwing kailan ang meeting is meron din dapat record nung pinagmeetingan. So ito yung record nung pinagmeetingan. Sorry, okay? And next is yung stock and transfer book. Pag sinabing stock and transfer book, this is a record of the names of shareholders, installment paid and unpaid by shareholders and date of payment, transfer of shares and the dates thereof. So dito nakasulat lahat ng issued shares, lahat ng naibentang shares, lahat ng naibentang ownership sa mismong shareholders. O kaya kung meron pang installment, o kaya yung mga unpaid na hindi pa nababayaran ng shareholders is nakalagay din dito. Shareholders ledger. Ito naman yung subsidiary record of share capital issued indicating the number of shares to each shareholders. So nakasulat dito lahat ng share capital issued indicating kung ilang shares ba ang na-issued sa mga shareholders. Subscribers ledger, ito naman yung subsidiary record of subscription made indicating the subscription of the subscribers. Nakasulat dito yung mga nag-commit na gustong bilihin yung shares of stocks. So ano ba ang right ng stockholders or shareholders, no? Number 1 is to vote at the stockholders meeting or register proxy votes. So, meron silang karapatan bumoto ng kanilang board of directors or bumoto sa mga policies na ginagawa ng mga board of directors. Number 2 is to sell stock. Ibenta nila ang kanilang ownership. Number 3 is to purchase additional shares of stock. Pwede nilang dagdagan yung kanilang ownership. Number 4, receive dividends if any. So ibig sabihin, entitled sila sa mga income ng kumpanya kapag na-declared ng corporation. Kaya if any. Number 5 is share in any asset remaining after creditors are paid in liquidation. So in case in liquidation, ang unang babayaran is yung mga creditors bago yung mga owners. Okay? So hanggang dyan na lang muna ang ating introduction sa isang kumpanya or sa corporation. Kung may katanungan ka or clarification, comment down below, no? So salamat, hanggang sa muli, paalam.